Hello. What's up, Rich? How you doing, man? I had to restart it because it was in the wrong orientation there. It was in vertical instead of horizontal. So let me turn down the brightness of this light real quick. Always fighting with the brightness of this thing here. First, Rich, yes. Rocky Malamute is second. Who will be third? Sarder, hey, how are you doing? Lisa's third. Just Bolton's, why do you, let's see. Just Bolton's asked, why do you think about Hawthorne frags? I'm assuming that means what? I don't know anything about them yet, but I will have a video about them soon. How you doing, Rocky? Jean is fourth. Jean Schmo, is that how you say your name? Damir says, hi from Bosnia. Hey, wow. Thanks for joining. Rich, how much were you after pure chili? Or I guess you mean taste of fragrance. You can email me about it. Luke Logan, hi Daver, legend, Dior Sauvage Parfum, your thoughts? I haven't tried it yet, though I do have some on the way, so I'm just waiting for it to arrive. I don't have high hopes, but I am just hoping that it's pretty good. Sean says, great job, that's spot on, thank you. Jacked and Juicy Sequence, what a great name. Says, new Terry Mugler release is coming. Yeah, I saw that. What is it, Amen Ultimate? I saw the news, but I didn't see what the notes were. But I'm looking forward to it. Cautiously optimistic. We'll see how it is. Rizwan says, hi from Doha. Hi, what? I don't know where that is. What country is that in? Sarter says, I am one, always the one, like fragrance one. My face is burnt. Yeah, Rich. Yeah, totally. Jean Smo says, question, do you have a juice you reach for often? And if so, which one? Depends on the season. I have, kind of a frequently reach for group that I have. It just depends on the season. For spring, some of them are Green Irish Tweed and Bergamot Soleil by Atelier Cologne. Some imagining authors like St. Julep. And then, let's see, one that I've been reaching for a lot in the summer this summer has been Dior Homme Cologne. And let's see, there's so many. For the fall, I reach a lot for Memoirs of a Trespasser. That's probably one I reach for the most. Royal Oud, Sova, or I got them right here. Here's Bach by Slumber House. I reach for that some. As you can see, I haven't used a whole lot because it's brand new. Here's Sova. And Sova, I use kind of sparingly, but I love to wear it. And they have a new Sova coming out. They're gonna relaunch the line for the fall, so I'm really looking forward to that. Seeing how Sova is. It's supposed to be a little different, but it depends. I have several that I reach for a lot. Those are just a few. Cedrat Enavrant by Atelier Cologne. Original Santal by Creed. Herod, Bois d'Argent, Ombre Nuit. I could probably name even more, but those are just a few. Sartor Slick says, by the way, have you tried Sultan Vetiver by Nashane? I have not. I really want to try more from the Nishane line. I think I tried a few, and I liked them, but yeah. DFW Shade, dude, it's still Monday. Sorry, man. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Revo71, hi, David, what's your sin of the day? I don't have one yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to wear today. Kind of depends. I'll put one on this afternoon. I have a few things I want to try on the video if I have time. This one I didn't get to try last week. But this one is Banana Republic 78 Vintage Green. We'll see how this is. So I'll open this up today and try it out. And then I have more from the different company, that Discovery box. I've been wanting to go through this, so we can try some more from their line there. And then, if I really have time, which I probably won't, I'll get to more from Sarah Baker. I have one by Sarah Baker, which is Jungle Jezebel, which is really great. It's a really great, really interesting scent. It smells exactly like the name says. It's like this skanky, tropical type of scent, and I think it's really good. It's not something I would wear a lot, but I think it's really good conceptually. But yeah, but she has more, of course, so I really want to try that out. But I don't have a scent of the day right now, so I'll put one on in a little bit. All right. Rizwan says, oh, it's from Qatar. Is it Qatar or Qatar? I've always wondered what it was. Is the emphasis on Qatar on the last syllable? I've heard so many people say it different ways. But people say my city the wrong way all the time. So I live in Mobile, Alabama, where the emphasis is on the last syllable. But a lot of people say Mobile, Alabama, which is wrong. Some people say mobile, which is really wrong. And even some people further say the worst, which is mobile, which I don't know how you get to mobile. Do you have a mobile phone? I don't think so. William Peters, what will be your #1 worn fall fragrance? Probably Memoirs of a Trespasser by Imaginary Authors. That's one that I reach for almost all the time. That's my probably #1. Wilson says, Wilson Civiace says, hi Dave, what do you think about Bulgari, Wood, and Rolly? First of all, you spell Bulgari wrong. That's a pet peeve of mine. I spell it like with a Latin U. It's Bulgari, it's with a U, not a V. It's typography to make it look like a V, but it's actually a Latin U. Anyway, that's beside the point. I actually haven't tried that one yet, but I need to. I've heard it's just okay, so we'll see how it goes. Willman Prince Walker says, what do you think about the house of Dua fragrances and their new blends? So I'm not a huge fan of Dua, though they have some okay scents. I've met the owner personally, and he's a good guy. But I'm not a huge fan of clone houses for a number of reasons. So I haven't tried any of their new scents, though I'm sure they would send me one for review if I asked. I don't have any desire to. Excuse me. But some of their things that they do I think are interesting. Like I like how they do blends of fragrances together. I think that's really cool and interesting. I wish that was the only thing they did. I just don't like the fact that there are clone houses out there profiting on undercutting expensive fragrance houses. I don't like that idea. Rich Mitch, send it to Dave. That's funny. You smells good. Eugene, how you doing, man? Whack Pack in the house. Whack Pack. Nick Toth, do you think fragrances expire? I grabbed a tin can of YSL Rive Gauche Pour Homme and was curious. They don't necessarily expire, but they can go bad over time. I actually have a video about that. And actually I have previously, to answer the previous question about Dua, I have a video about Dua too. So they don't really expire, though they do have an expiration date on there. And I'm not exactly sure where the expiration date came from. I don't know if it's some kind of law or regulation that they have to do that. Maybe it is. But they don't expire like food expires, but they can go bad if you store them improperly. So if you store them with, so the biggest killers of fragrances are heat and light and oxygen. You can't do anything about oxygen. Oxygen is going to get into the bottle because you're using a bottle and a sprayer. But you can do stuff about light and heat. So always store it in the dark if you can, in the box. If you don't have a drawer or something where it's dark, store it in the box. Store it in a place that doesn't get warm. So what I do is I have a cupboard under the sink cupboard in a bathroom. It doesn't get really warm in there, so that's where I store all mine. Daze, Royal Oud, yeah. Jean says Royal Oud is my wife's favorite. Yeah, I get a lot of compliments from that one. I'm not, I don't really care about compliments really, but it seems like that's one that's a good people pleaser. Daniel T says, 7 blessings, frag heads. Rich Mitch is wearing Estee Lauder for Men today. William Peters, what fragrance do you love that most people around you don't? So one that I really love that I got a ton of bad comments about was Poivre Samarcand by Hermès in the Hermescence line, Hermescence collection. I really love that one, but my wife especially didn't like it. So out of respect for her, I sold it. She didn't ask me to, but I just wanted to. And I really love that one, but some people said it had kind of like a BO smell, like a dirty BO smell, which I didn't get. I got more of spicy, woody, rich type of thing, and I really, really loved it. I really love woody spices, and that is like the king of woody spices to me. It was a shame that got trashed from some people around me. I would have worn it anyway, but because my wife didn't really love it, that's something you have to work around. Another one that, surprisingly, other people don't really love is Sova. And I say surprisingly, it's not really a surprise. Sova is a weird scent, but it's pleasantly weird. So I love it. And on me, it's just like really comforting and pleasing to me. It's really dry, has this, one thing they say it has broom in it, which every time they say that, I think that actually means a plant. But it does kind of remind me of like a straw broom, like an actual broom that you sweep with. So it has that really kind of dry hay-like thing going on. It always reminds me of like fall holidays. And when I wear this, people don't get it. And I understand why, but that's one that people don't love whenever I wear it. But I mean, I love it. Golly, I love it so much. Bach, on the other hand, Bach is one that I really love, and people get it a little bit more. It's kind of like a cousin to Sova, but more wearable. It has kind of like almost like a chocolate liqueur type of thing in there. No, it's not in the notes, but I always get like a chocolate liqueur or some kind of dark chocolate, almost coconut type of thing. It's not really sweet, but it's a little sweeter than Sova, but still dry. It's still really good. So last year when I got Bach, I actually wore Bach more than Sova because it put me in a kind of a similar mood, similar state of mind, but it was a little bit more wearable. All right. Oh, a lot of questions. Oh, let's go back. Let's go way back here. All right, there we go. I bought Dunhill Icon yesterday, and wow. I know it's not niche, but wow. Dunhill Icon is a great scent. It's a great, great fresh scent. I need to do a video about that, but I really like it a lot. Henrik asks, what do you, I think he says, what do you think about Creed Pure White Cologne? Creed Pure White Cologne, it's been a while, and I think that was just one that was just okay, passable, but not amazing. I don't remember exactly what my thoughts were there, but Creed has a bunch that are just okay, and a lot of times, if I smell a fragrance that is just okay, or doesn't wow me or whatever, then it'll just go in the forget it. And so that was one that I just remember I had okay feelings about, but I never really pursued anything. Do I have any readers out there? I got some, I know there's some readers out there, but I've been reading a book that I really love, classic book, but just curious if there's any readers out there. And of course, let me plug Beast Made Reviews, guys. If you haven't checked it out, go check out my channel, Beast Made Reviews. There's a link in the video description too, but I have a second channel there. I have a video coming out today, hopefully. It's all done. I just need to do the thumbnail for it. Video today on Beast Made Reviews, talking about some of my favorite things from the summer. So that'll be really cool. One of them is Tailor Stitch shirts, which I'm wearing right now. Really love Tailor Stitch. They don't pay me for anything, but they did send me a couple of shirts for review, just for disclosure there. But I love them. But I have some content on Beast Made Reviews, high quality products, different price points, mostly that guys like, but I think you might like it if you like my stuff. So definitely go check out Beast Made Reviews. All right. Oh man, I don't know how to say your name. Is it Wojtek, Kugel? Sorry, man. I know I'm mispronouncing your name. Sorry about that. It says, hey, I love your channel. Huge greetings from Luxembourg. Wow, awesome. Thank you. It says, what do you think about Amouage fragrances? Which one is your favorite? And what do you think of Jubilation 25? So I have a full review of Jubilation 25. Just go search Fragrance Bros Jubilation 25. It'll come right up. Really like that one. That's my favorite of the line, I think. Either that and Reflection Man are my two favorites from the line. As a whole, I'm not a huge fan of Amouage. I just don't get them. I understand what they do, but their perspective just does not resonate with me. They made a few fragrances years ago that I thought were more wearable and likable for the everyday person, but then they just went in this really strange direction and really experimental. They do, kind of the Oriental style of fragrance, and I think their quality is excellent, but I just creatively hate the direction that they go in. And so after a while, I just stopped reviewing them because it's like, why do I need to go on anymore? Like I hate all their fragrances. People get it, Oh man, man, everyone coming out with the names today. Let's see, ZB Manakazuki. Sorry mispronouncing your name. It says, thoughts on the 6 new unisex Paco Rabanne fragrances. I don't have any personal experience with them, but I do not have high hopes for them. Paco Rabanne has not released a good fragrance in like over a decade, or more probably. So I'm almost convinced that they're going to be total gutter trash. Hey, Kevin Hader, how are you doing? M1H1 Pineapple Vintage Vanilla Intense. I have no comment about that, and I will never review any fragrances from them, so no comment. Kevin Hader, Dior Homme Cologne. There you go. Kevin Hader, 78 Vintage is my spring go-to. Can't believe you picked that one up. Awesome. Let's try it out. Let's try it out real quick. Let's crack it open real quick. Got my Fragrance Bros knife, of course, so let's open it up real fast. nice packaging anyway. Let's see. I don't know what to think about this yet, or the Banana Republic line in general. Let's see. Banana Republic as a line, even like their clothing line, is always like more expensive than it should be, but kind of a gateway to dressing nicer. So I wonder if the fragrance line is always is that same way. Let's see. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. A fresh citrusy fragrance, neroli forward, and bergamot or lemons, probably bergamot. Definitely neroli in there, but it's blended really nice. So that neroli gives it that sense of greenness. Bergamot is obviously the citrus in there. What I like about this is that neroli isn't too bitter. Sometimes the neroli is too bitter, and this is perfect. Oh man, that's excellent. Oh, that's gonna be my scent of the day today. So 78 green is gonna be my scent of the day. Awesome, thank you. Thank you for suggesting that. And I'm going to definitely try that one out today. All right. Joey Swaney says, cut her. I'm not sure if you're trolling me or what. The Fragrance Apprentice, Mobile Phone, Alabama. Yeah, that's right. What's up, George from Fragrance Apprentice? Man, you're on fire. You're on a roll, dude. Keep it up. Rizwan Rahim says, Daver, are you planning to join Scent Explore due in November in New York? I don't know. I had an invitation from a company about it, and I gave it some thought, but I'm not really sure. Sorry, Slick. Mobile. Mobile. Jared Evans. Hi, Daver. Have you a favorite rainy day and sunny day fragrance? Yeah. So one of my favorite rainy day fragrances is, I probably have a couple. Vetiver Fatale by Atelier Cologne. I think that's great for rainy days. Has a really balmy vetiver with plum and maybe a little bit of citrusy things in there, a little bit of cedar in there. Excellent. Love Vetiver Fatale. To me, that's like perfect for the rain. Also, Every Storm a Serenade, I think, is pretty good for the rain. Every Storm a Serenade by Imaginary Authors. I think that one's really good too, though it's a little stronger. And I also, let's see, for sunny days, it depends on the season, but I really like Bergamot Soleil by Atelier Cologne. That one is like bright sunlight in a bottle. That's what that is like to me. And maybe it has maybe that's with the name Soleil. I'm not sure, but that's what that reminds me of. Also, Eau d'Adrienne by Anik Goutal, I think, is a great one for that. And also, kind of, this is almost kind of a both and. Enchanted Forest by a Vagabond Prince. I kind of wear both in really sunny spring days and then sometimes in those really kind of wet, balmy days. I think that works kind of good for both, but I love all those. Joey Swaney says, he asks, how do you feel about Creed Royal Mayfair? I really like it. I like Royal Mayfair. I don't think, okay, so Royal Mayfair is kind of like an updated, reformulated version of Creed Windsor. Creed Windsor was a lot better. It's a lot deeper, and I think it was a lot better, but it was really expensive and was always vaulted, and you could never find it. But I had a sample of it, and it was incredible. I mean, it was up there with some of my favorites from Creed. That's how amazing it was. Creed Royal Mayfair, I don't think it was worth especially the price that it had at first. I think they were kind of like, this is a relaunch of Windsor, but is easier to find, so we're going to charge more money for it. Definitely not worth that, but it's still very good. It just seems like a watered-down version and is not quite as deep and rich as Windsor was. But at the same time, if you haven't tried Windsor, you may not be you may not know what you're missing. So I still think it's still very good and still one of my favorites in the Creed line. But I don't have it, so maybe one day. I don't know. I would like to get it one day. Jean Smo says, did you ever try Uno by Grey Matter? I have not. I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to check it out. Hendoko Engungfwandi, hope I'm saying your name right, says, hi Dave, what's your opinion on Nishane, especially on Annie, Hassavat, and Wulong Cha? So I have a sample of Hassavat here. I'm making a video soon on fragrances that my subscribers have suggested. It's going to be like a first impression video. All of them are suggested by my audience. So Hassavat is on there because I haven't tried that one. My thoughts on Nishane as a whole looks like a great line, though I don't have a lot of experience with them. I don't have any experience wearing them for like a full wearing. I think I tried a few of them and liked them, but I just don't really remember my thoughts there. So more content coming, especially on Hassavat, so stay tuned for that. Daze says, Daver, what do you think about MDCI Invasion Barbar? Invasion Barbar is good. It didn't blow me away. I know that there was like a lot of hype behind Invasion Barbar, especially a few years ago. But it's good. I haven't tried any more from MDCI, but I think one of the main appeals for their line, honestly, is their bottles. Their bottles look incredible. And I would love to own one of them, but I don't. But Invasion Barbar was good. I think it was like that spicy rose type of thing, if memory serves, but also on the powdery side. So it was not something that I would ever wear. But some people really like that. Rich Mitch, clone houses equal plagiarism. Yeah, I mean, I know some people think that. I don't know if I'm necessarily on that page or not, but I'm close, probably. Sardar Slick, we want to see you in white suits. Okay. John Seven says, Daver, why do you wear fragrances? I have a whole video about why fragrances, so you can go and watch that. Maybe I'll have it linked. We'll see. But one of the things is just I like the adventure. I like smelling good. I like it because it boosts the way I feel, or enhances that, or maybe even changes that. I like the way it makes my family feel, my friends feel, and the memories that they'll associate with me. My kids really enjoy it. I really like that whole experience, like a community type of experience that way. And you can kind of build this kind of microcosm community just by wearing fragrances. And in a funny way, like if you wear them responsibly, not too strong, you can be that cologne guy that is respectful of other people and that everyone looks for suggestions in that way. And I've become that to people, even though they know that I do this professionally. I have a channel surrounded by it. They'll still come to me saying, hey, what do you think about this cologne? Or that. That's fun. That's really fun. Mateus Miskuvitz says, have you tried YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum 2019? What do you think about it? I don't think I've tried that one. Maybe I did. I don't remember. Alex98765 says, Daver, what's your top 5 most worn fragrances last 365 days? Oh, man, I don't know scientifically what they would be. Some of them are Dior Homme Cologne, Creed Green Irish Tweed, Sun Drunk by Imaginary Authors, Memoirs of a Trespasser. One more. What's one more? Probably. Oh man, what's another one? I'm trying to think. I have another one that I reach for all the time. Maybe Ombre Nui. I don't know. That might be it. But I don't know what it would be. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it would be, though. Those are some that I wear all the time, though. Man, thank you guys for all the questions. I am so backed up. Let's see. All right, there we go. There we go. Andre Pianco. Hi, Daver. Greetings from Brazil. Any thoughts on Parfums de Marly Carlisle? Carlisle. Which one is Carlisle? Golly. Why is it with Parfums de Marly I get confused so often with that? Carlisle. Is that the almond one? Or is Carlisle isn't one of the new ones? I don't remember, Andre. I think Carlisle was one that I liked. If someone can give me the notes for Carlisle, I'll help Andre a little bit more. But I think is that the almond one? If it's the almond one, then I think I like that one, but it's not one that I would want to wear all the time. Maybe not even own. But the whole Parfums de Marly line for me is one that's always really solid. A lot of their fragrances don't blow me away. Like, a lot of them aren't instant loves. But that's true about almost any fragrance line, right? But to me, Parfums de Marly, they always at least get it to where it's pretty pleasant for almost any person to wear. And Carlisle is definitely one of those, if memory serves. And so I could wear anything from the Parfums de Marly line, unisex and masculine. Their women's fragrances, I think, are more feminine, but that's another topic. But I've always really appreciated the Parfums de Marly line. And Carlisle, if I'm thinking of the correct fragrance, Carlisle is one that I respect and I could wear occasionally, but it's not something that I would really want to keep because I'd probably not wear it a whole lot. Let's see here. Go through some of these comments here. Carlisle's cardamom, guaiac, patchouli, orange. Yeah. Okay, so that one is one that I like. That's that kind of spicy, sharp, woody fragrance. I think that was pretty good. But again, I like it, but don't love it. All right, let's see here. Kasim A says, how many fragrances do you have in your collection? So I'm paring down my collection quite a bit. There's just so many fragrances that I just never really wear or reach for. So I'm just trying to pare it down to fragrances that I just really love and I want to wear all the time. But I think right now it's probably in the 40, 45 range, but I could drastically reduce that by probably 15 more off the top if I wanted to. I have a lot more that I have for review that I either haven't reviewed or I've received for other reasons for work that I've done. But that's my core collection, I would say. Wilson Ceviche says, Bleecker Street by number 9 is my favorite. What do you think about Wall Street? Wall Street is good. Bleecker Street is really good. And that's another one that I like to wear, especially in the rain. But I found that I just didn't reach for it a whole lot. But Wall Street's pretty good, too. Not much thoughts on that other than that. Sam Ham says, hi, what about Gucci Intense Oud? I haven't tried that one. Daze says, I need to sell Creed Bois de Portugal. Wife cannot stand it. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Udamkarn Cheat Cool says, if Asia is a fragrance, what fragrance reminds you of Asia? He says, hi from Asia. I don't know. I mean, I would think it'd be like an Oriental style fragrance, right? I don't know. I would think that it would probably be an Amouage. An Amouage, they really kind of have a lot of respect for that part of the world, especially, and kind of like a retrospective of that area. So they do a great job of kind of interpreting kind of like the spice trade routes, the Silk Road type of thing. I think it would probably be some type of homage. I don't know. That's a good question. Huffy Bravado says, "Hey, Daver, how did you start your fragrance journey? Any tips on building a fragrance collection?" So my tips on building a fragrance collection is don't try to build a fragrance collection. Just get fragrances that you just like. That's my main tip there. I don't think anyone needs a collection. So I don't want to tell people how to start a collection. I have collections of things that I just happen to have unintentionally. And I think that any collection should build like that. That you just have something because you just really like it, not because you're trying to build something up. Because I don't think collecting is worth it for the pursuit of collecting. I think collecting is only a matter of a lifestyle choice that you have for acquiring things that you just already love. Because if you already love them, then you'll keep them forever. But if you're looking to just collect, eventually you'll get bored of it and realize, why am I doing this? Why am I just buying stuff just to have a collection of things that I look and see on the shelf? I think that's one of the problems with the fragrance community in general, is that they go for collections. I just think that's silly. Just buy stuff that you really like. And I've answered how I got into the fragrance world in the past, but how did I start the fragrance journey? I started as a little boy with my dad, and he would give me these drugstore colognes, and I just remember that's how it all started way back in the day when he got me those. She Black says, Estee Lauder for Men is nice. I still own it. That was my Trinity with Aqua di Gio and Polo Blue. There you go. That is a 90s trio right there. She Black, is this video going to stay up? Yes, it will. Every live video I have it's automatically archived on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. And I usually will put timestamps of all the important questions in a comment, the pinned comment, so you can go back and look at those. And I'll also have it in my stories. I'll link it in my stories tab on YouTube, so you can find it there. Daze, can't wait for the cooler weather to set in. I'll be rocking Herod. Yeah, Herod's great, man. I love Herod. Mr. Gulladeckel says, they say Jaguar Vision 1 smells like Creta Ventus. Jaguar Vision 2 and 3 are sport smell good too. Have you checked them out? Jaguar Vision 1 does not smell like a Ventus. It smells like a fragrance that has pineapple in it or something. It doesn't smell like a Ventus at all. Vision 2 and 3 I haven't smelled, so I'm not really sure about those. I'm just not keen right now on car fragrances. I think, especially these ultra luxurious fragrance car companies, they have the most cheap, disgusting, trash fragrances. They need to have luxurious fragrances. They need to make fragrances that are worthy of their luxurious cars. But just for the most part, I'm not interested in a Jaguar fragrance or a Bentley fragrance. Bentley, good grief, that's the thing. Ferrari, how cheap can their fragrances get? Good grief. Aaron94, what's your most complimented fall fragrance? I don't know if I have a most complimented fall fragrance. Most of the fragrances I wear for the fall usually don't get complimented. The fragrances that get the most compliments really are summer fragrances that are fresh. Those are usually the ones that, and boring. Those are the ones that get the most compliments. That's why the whole idea of compliments is silly to start with, because the general public has the same taste. So all you have to do is buy one fragrance. For fall, you don't get as many compliments. I won't get as many compliments in the fall. But one that I wear in the fall and winter that typically stands out a little bit is Bois d'Argent by Dior. That one, for whatever reason, it gets some compliments. Doesn't, whatever. Aiden Shaw, hi guys. Anyone tried Cool Heights yet? Zara's new offering. Got it today and really like it. I have not tried it. Gas Nobile says, Au Trois Diptyque. What do you think about it? I haven't tried that one. Diptyque is one that is harder for me to get. So especially if it's a newer Diptyque, I mean, this could be really tough. So I haven't tried that one yet. Revo71 says, what is the worst blind buy you bought? One of the worst blind buys I bought was Lacoste Essential. I bought it when it was getting a lot of hype in the fragrance community, like with Cubby and all them. I remember buying that one and thinking, wow, first smell, trash. And it is. It's not good at all. John, yeah, I read occasionally. Occasionally! Fire the Panzerschreck says, do you have Yop Homme? I think I have Yop Homme. Not because I bought it. It was probably given to me. It's okay. Not my favorite. I should say it's probably not even okay. It's not great, really. Phil Hawk, hi Daver. What's your overall opinion on the House of Parfums de Marly? Love them. I think they make great fragrances. Like I said before, for a longer answer, I think they make great fragrances that are high quality and they smell high quality. I think that's important. But also, too, they are really accessible and they're not outlandish or out there. So they go for kind of a mainstream aesthetic, but kind of a higher quality. I think that's really nice. I like them a lot. And I find that most of their fragrances are something that I would like, at least a little bit. Mike Nguyen says, yep, just rereading Song of Ice and Fire. There you go. I really like that series, man. Can't wait for the new book to come out whenever it does. Ngoy Kupol Mo says, hey, Dave, good morning. Good morning. Junaid says, what do you think about Creed Viking? I have a review of it. So if you want my full thoughts, you can go and watch it. Just look up, Fragrance Bros, Creed Viking. It's okay. Definitely not a hit, but it's okay. Gas Nobile says, mine is Attaquer La Soleil Etat Libre d'Orange. Christy O says, yes, I love to read all types of history. Awesome. I switch between different genres, but I really like history as well. One book, okay, so this is a very frightening historical account, but one history book that I really, really enjoyed was The Rape of Nanking. And I say enjoy. I didn't enjoy it because of the history. I enjoyed it because it was such an eye-opening experience to read about that time in history with the Japanese invading China and how, but they really tried to cover it up, and still to this day are trying to cover it up. But that's one. So to go on books real quick, I remember reading Jordan Peterson's book, his book that everyone is going on. Is it 12 Rules for Life or 21 Rules for Life? I think it's 12. Anyway, Jordan Peterson has a book, and he has a great book list. So I've been going through his book list, and Rape of Nanking was on there. Right now, I'm currently reading Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, and it's easily one of the best books I've ever read. Such an incredible, incredible character, master writer of characters. I mean, it's just an incredible, incredible book. It deserves to be, it deserves to be a classic. It's that amazing. Ngoy Ka Kupelmo says, aren't you tired of hearing Creed Aventus, Dior Sauvage? I know they're great, but I just got tired hearing of it every day, every video. That's just me. I understand. Yeah, I totally agree. Right now, that's just the trend. Like Creed Aventus, especially when it for a couple years after it released. I mean, it just set the trend, and it's still riding that trend in a lot of ways. Dior Sauvage is the current kind of trendsetter, but I think they're following in the footsteps of Aventus. We're just riding that trend right now. I think, you know, if it was 10, 15 years ago, you'd probably be saying, aren't you tired of hearing about Acqua di Gio? And at one time, everyone was talking about Chanel, Bleu de Chanel. I was tired of hearing that too. So yeah, I do get tired of it. I totally understand what you mean. Orange Muscle says, why do Acqua di Gio Profumo and D&G Light Blue Intense smell like gym socks after running 5 miles? Well, it's probably because you've been running for 5 miles. Next Gen says, picked up on Font True Fragrance. Smells good for cheap. Joey Swaney, Bracken is awesome from Amouage. It's very wearable. Okay, I need to try that one then. Justin TX 1988 says, I always get a sunscreen smell from Neroli. I totally understand what you mean. That is a very common association. This one has not as much of that. Right now, it's just kind of nice and musky. It's nice. Michael Brendan Doherty says, any thoughts on Healy Cardinal? I think it's great. Wife doesn't get it. I think Healy Cardinal is okay. As far as like an incensey type of scent, I think it's okay. I'm not huge into incense, but I think it's decent. So I'm probably with your wife on that one. Ian Wren, what's up, Daver? Have you ever mentioned what you do for work, or is it too personal? Curious to know how you can afford all these fantastic fragrances. So I'm a writer. That's one thing that I do. And of course, I've done some other work with different companies here and there with video work. And then I do this. So it's kind of those three things. I'm always kind of doing shuffling around those three things. And like I haven't bought that many fragrances in the last few years, mostly because where I am now as Fragrance Bros, generally people will send me stuff for review. So so I don't have to spend right now a lot of money on that. Christy M, hey Dave, I hope you're having a good day. I just want to ask if you tested Parfum's Vintage Emerald Isle and Verbena Fields. Have been looking to get it since Creed GIT is out of my budget. Have not, but I will never try it. Rich Mitch, really want to try Enchanted Forest. It's excellent, excellent, excellent. If you like, cassia, that type of, black currant, that type of thing, it's one of the best. Some people with black currant, they get kind of a cat urine type of smell. I don't get that. To me, it's really fruity and green, very bright and vibrant. Also dark as well. It's a little bit of a contrasty type of scent. It has some darker elements, some brighter elements. I love it. It's incredible. Daze says, hey Daver, where do you purchase your niche fragrances? Do you have a particular discounter? So usually I'll just look around. So I'll look around a few different places. There are lots of places that I trust. Like I usually check Amazon. Amazon is one of the places that I always check, mostly because, I have Amazon Prime, so that's easy. And I also have a Amazon credit card, which I just pay off every month. And that gives me some points. So I usually check out Amazon first thing. So Amazon, great. A great place to kind of check. Then I will also check eBay. You have to be a little bit more careful on eBay, but there are reputable sellers. Then there are reputable sellers of even used stuff there. And then if nothing is there, if no bites are there, I'll check discount sites like Fragrance X or Fragrance Net. Two great places. And then if it's something that I can't find in any of those places, then I'll look for something brand new, like on Lucky Scent or Twisted Lily, something like that. But, I'm with everyone else. Like, I don't want to buy something full price. So I'm always looking to get something for the lowest price possible. So that's kind of like my general order in going someplace. I usually check the cheapest places that I can find for the best deals and then go up the list. Daniel T, yeah, that's right. Says, Daver's lagging behind in the chat, so let him catch up. You've got to appreciate that he replies to everybody. I try to answer everyone. I do get behind on the stuff, so yeah, just bear that in mind. The Honest J-Bone says, just hopped in. Question, what's a great animalic musk? One that I can think of is Musk Kubla Khan by Serge Luton. That one is great animalic musk. Though it's not my favorite thing, but that is a really good one. There's another one. So there's one called, there's one by Bortnikov that is musk. What is it called? Oh, man. Bortnikov has one that is a musk fragrance that has natural deer musk in it. And I haven't tried that one yet, but I'm getting a sample of that soon. So I'll definitely let you know about that one for sure. But I am actually looking forward to that one a lot, so we'll see. But if you haven't tried Musk Kubla Khan, definitely check that one out. That one is like animalic, musky, almost like furs or animal hides, that type of thing. I think that one is kind of in a good way. Maybe another one you could check out is Leather Oud by Dior. Not my thing. And I think they changed the formulation. Because I remember when it first came out, Leather Oud to me smelled like just like a dirty butthole. But I think they changed it. And I remember about a year or two ago, I smelled it again. And I thought, wow, this doesn't smell nearly as bad. It smells a lot more wearable. I get oud and leather, obviously, but it's very animalic. So those are some good ones there. Fragrance Mafia says, what's up, Daver? Thoughts on Robert Graham Fortitude? I haven't tried that one. I'm not sure. Does I just realized he's got a bit of a bit lag in the chat. Yeah, I do. I try to answer everything, guys. So if you're asking questions, you just have to stick around till I answer them. Or watch the video later. This will obviously be archived, so definitely check that out. Sarter Slick says, I have to go, mate. Stay well, brother. Chat soon. Hey, thank you. Thank you for coming, Sarter. Really appreciate it. Will V says, stop hating on the fragrance army. Who's hating on the fragrance army? Maybe just grow an effing backbone. Ungoy Kupomo says, people in the chat, I'd like to inform you that Nordstrom Rack has a sale on Creed perfumes. Thank me later. Oh, cool. Definitely check that out then. Daze says, keep up the awesome reviews. Always look forward to your reviews. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Jet Sense says, sup, Dave? Sup. Jet Sense also saw George. Sup, George? What's up, Jet Sense? Thanks for coming, Ashton. Really appreciate it. J. Ken says, what would you recommend as the first versatile niche fragrance? I mean, it really depends on what you like. Versatility is still very subjective. It's a very subjective idea. A line that I usually recommend, I'd probably recommend 2 lines. Check out Atelier Cologne. Check out Imaginary Authors. Those 2 are really accessible. I think you'll get a lot of, I think you'll find that those lines are easy to wear, and so you can find a lot of occasions to wear their scents in a lot of different ways. So check them out for sure. But I can't really recommend like one fragrance. Just recommend lines you could try. So yeah, check them out. Greg Larson, sup, Daver? Hey, Greg, how you doing? Jake Papp says, hello, Daver. What's your opinion about Diptyque Eau Dwell? Thanks in advance. Eau Dwell, that's the vanilla one, correct? I remember trying Eau Dwell and thinking it was okay. The whole Diptyque line, I think, is not special. Diptyque to me is like a line that doesn't try. They make fragrances and the bottles look really cool, but every time I smell them, I'm like, try harder, guys, because this is just like a freshman effort. Every time they make a fragrance, it's just a freshman effort. They're not terrible, but they're always like so boring. So boring. Sam Ham says, what is the alternative of Creed Viking? One alternative I would suggest is Koenig by Yosh. Not the same thing. Doesn't smell exactly the same. But I think it smells in the same family. And Koenig, I think, is much, much better. It has like this rich, really, really great leather note with vetiver and apple. It's incredible, incredible. Jensen says Carlisle is cardamom, guaiac, patchouli, orange. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Gregory Roback says, hi, Daver, what is your favorite niche woody fragrance? My favorite niche woody fragrance. Probably Every Storm a Serenade by Imaginary Authors. That one is a great, 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 great woody scent. I want to say oud wood too. Oud wood, you can kind of classify oud wood in a lot of different categories. Spicy, oudy, you know, that type of thing. But oud wood, great woody scent. Oud, pepper, cedar, vetiver, great. Every Storm a Serenade is like this rich, rich cedar or spruce or something, and then eucalyptus, and that one's incredible. And it's like this wet. It reminds me of kind of like the forest after a rain. It has like a petrichor type of scent on top of this really rich, woody, redolent type of smell. So it's excellent. Those two are excellent, I think. Daniel J says, thoughts on Polo Supreme Cashmere? Never see any reviews on it. I adore it. I haven't tried that one. I stopped reviewing the Polo line after a while just because I just didn't think they were making very many good things, so I just stopped reviewing them. By the way, Daniel J, if I'm not mistaken, are you a new subscriber? I get email, excuse me, I get emails about new subscribers, and it said Daniel J, and I thought that was my brother, because my brother's name is Daniel, so I thought that was my brother at first. Lou Poe says, thoughts on Coney Island? Heard people say it's nauseating. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't say it's nauseating. I just think that it's a strange mix. It didn't. Some people really loved it, and they built some kind of hype around it. And then I smelled it, and I was not impressed by it at all. I didn't really like it. Spud says Oman is not in Asia, Daver. I know, it's in the Middle East. Jarek Kubinski says, hi, what do you think about the idea to create own fragrance in laboratory? In my town in Warsaw, Poland, opened a laboratory called MO61 when you can create your own fragrance. Getting quite popular nowadays. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think the idea, though, I think the idea is very similar to anything in which you can create your own experience like that. You might get, you might like it, but you also may hate it. So I know like a lot of people, like there's this thing where you can go and you can create your own painting, like a little party thing, you can create your own painting. 99% of the time, everyone makes a terrible painting. Because most people are just terrible artists. So I think the idea of creating your own fragrance in a laboratory is interesting, and I think I think it'd be like a fun experience, and that's probably why it's getting popular, is because it's something new, something that people can try. Definitely not a gold mine. I think if you made something truly great, it would be like the rarest accident in the world. Greg Larson says, do you have any up-and-coming houses you really like? Yeah. So Sarah Baker, I say up-and-coming. I don't know if up-and-coming is the right way to describe it, but Sarah Baker is a house that I'm just now learning about and really excited about her. So I have some fragrances from her that I've tried. Of course, I have Jungle Jezebel, which I'll mention that in another video. Also, too, Bortnikov, they're sending me a couple of samples, and I think maybe even bigger samples, I'm not sure, but they're sending me some stuff for review. So really excited about Bortnikov. Those are just a couple that I'm really excited about. All right, let's see here. A lot of questions. Thanks, guys. Man, I am truly behind in my questions. Ode Lynchen says, "Sup, Daver? Wondering if you've had had the pleasure of smelling Lolita Limpica's Homme, and if so, any resemblance to the discontinued gem Eau Masculine?" No, I haven't. I've been wanting to. I really liked Eau Masculine when it was out, though I think it was a little bit generic. Had like a kind of a generic base. I really liked the added anise and licorice tone that it had. So really love that. And I really want to try Lolita Lipinka's Homme, but that one's hard to find. It's just one that it's not in the stores here, and finding a sample of it is still pretty hard. So we'll just have to see. I hope to try it sometime soon. By the way, Oda Lynchen, have you seen her? Definitely check out. I don't know if you have a link to your Instagram, but she's an incredible artist, like incredible. I always really appreciate artists so much. I'm always in awe of some of the things that people can do. Jungmin Huang says, "What do you think is the difference between a collector and a hoarder?" I mean, I think hoarders probably have more of a mental, like a disorder, like a mental illness. I think like true hoarding, I think is more of a mental illness. It's kind of like when people say, "I have an OCD about this or something," and they say, they just like to have things neat. But actual OCD is a true mental illness that takes on different forms and is really debilitating to a lot of people. So sometimes whenever they say they have an OCD, it's not really the same as OCD. So I understand what you mean. Like, what's the difference between a hoarder and a collector? Like true hoarding is a problem, and some people just can't stop. But a collector, I think they understand where to stop. Hopefully, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Alex 98765 says, "Daver, Jer's still passionate about fragrances. Any plans to occasionally double review with him anytime soon?" Yeah, he likes fragrances a lot. I was actually talking to him recently about some fragrances. He's gonna buy something from me soon. So yeah. And any double reviews coming? Probably not. I'm somewhat reluctant on doing like traditional reviews anymore because I think that reviews, for the most part, are dead in the fragrance community. So I don't like to do traditional reviews anymore because I'll do them on something that I really want to do, like especially on the Amber series that I have. Those are more traditional type of reviews with a twist, but they just don't make a lot of views. So for me to make a video on something that I know won't get a lot of views is like a wasted effort. So I have to kind of repackage the idea of what a review is. And Jer is always really fun to have on, but he's not like 100% into reviewing all the time. So it'd be fun to do it as a throwback, but I know that even if I do that, it wouldn't make a ton of difference either way. So no plans really. Laz says, "Why the price of Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef and Arpels increased over the years? I remember it. I bought the fragrance for $30. I don't know. That's a good question. I remember it being $30 too. I remember that being always like one of my kind of go-to cheaper fragrances. I haven't noticed it increase, but I haven't really looked for it, so I don't know. It could. I don't know if did it discontinue? If it's discontinued, then it would naturally increase over time because the supply would diminish. Therefore, the price would increase even if the demand stayed the same. So if the supply goes down, the price goes up. If supply, demand, price are all connected. So if only one of those changes, then the price will go up. Maybe I'm wrong. Gent Sense, Brut versus Aqua Velva versus Old Spice for greatest of all time aftershave. Old Spice. Old Spice, Old Spice, Old Spice, always Old Spice. I still love that fragrance. I never wear it, but Old Spice. Nico K says, pardon the ignorance, I used to watch some of your older videos, but wasn't there another guy that used to do fragrance reviews with you? Yeah. So there was, at first there was Steve O. So he was Steve O. He was the first guy, and he quit after just like a few a few videos. And then my friend Jer, he was my counterpart on the channel for a long time, and then he eventually kind of retired and then moved away, and then now he's moved back. Jay Ken, have you tested Bois d'Argent? Bois d'Argent. I'm trying to think. Have I tried that one? I laugh because yes, I have a full review and I mention it all the time. It's one of my favorite scents of all time. There's a lot of talk about aftershaves here. That's pretty cool. Daniel J, I'm thinking of buying Pegasus by Marly. Okay, Pegasus is the one. Pegasus is the almond one. Pegasus is good. I like Pegasus. Again, Pegasus is the one that I was thinking of, this almond, musky, powdery thing. I think it's okay. That's one scent that I will probably never own, just because there are other scents that I think do a similar job, and Pegasus doesn't do it, 10 times better to me. Mr. Miami Cuddles. What's up, Daver? Hey, how are you doing, Cuddles? Dimba Dibba says, have you tried Racindu Mateau number 5? I have not. I can't even pronounce it. Lee Allen says, hey, Daver, depressed in the crap UK weather here. Any boozy recommendations for a crap weather? I love Bulgari Man in black, but it doesn't last on my skin. Yeah, so boozy fragrances. Some that I really like. Let's see. Boozy fragrances. I'm trying to think of some. So one that I really like, Pure Malt by Thierry Mugler. Love that one. That's probably my favorite boozy fragrance of all time. Then there's also, any by Frappan. Frappan makes a lot of boozy fragrances. They're all really good. I've always wanted like a hops beer type of fragrance, like a fresh hops beer IPA thing. Someone make that. I want someone to make that. But no one has, or hasn't been. If there has, it hasn't been popular, or I don't know about it. See some more. There is one by. There's one by Krigler. All right, I'm back. Says there's one by Krigler called Established Cognac, which is excellent. It's really good. And it's the most boozy fragrance I've ever tried. I mean, it's like straight up pouring booze on your skin. But it's really good. The bottle's really cool too. American brand, out of New York, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, New York City. Really cool. And this is one brand that I've had for a while, but I just completely forgot about, which I'll mention that some other time. But yeah, Krigler, really cool. Another one that I like, and this one smells boozy to me, though it's not necessarily a boozy one, is Bach. And I mentioned this earlier. But Bach has like a liqueur, like a chocolate liqueur type of smell in there that I really love, but it's also dry. And I mean dry in like it feels dry. It's actually on the sweeter side. But I really like that one a lot. Another one is by Kissed by Slumber House, and or Kissed, and that one is a lot more boozy. That one has kind of like a bourbon, peach, and sweet type of thing going on. It's amazing. Fatty Boom Balatti. I love Bach and Kissed. Yes, they're excellent. Slumber House is just an incredible house. Oh my gosh. All right, we get it, guys. What is that? That one guy just like spamming the boards. Golly. All right, let's see. 69er Musk Cologne. It's not that one. So Musk Cologne is their newer one by Bortnikoff, but it's a different one that I'm thinking of. It's Musk. It's something else, Musk or Musk something. All right, let's see. Rich Mitch says Dior Privé have been gutted. I tried a few I tried a new of the Dior private line. I thought they were okay, but I haven't gotten a whole lot of experience with them, but I really want to. Just a harder one to try. All right, there we go. Babalu Kumar says, Chanel Coromandel is the best perfume of Les Exclusive, please. I'm from India. Coromandel is excellent. I mean, it is one of the best, yes. And Jersey is really good. JK, my thoughts on the Dior Privé line. So I don't have a lot of experience, like I said, with the newer version of the Dior Privé line. But the current, the older version of their previous fragrances was excellent. And of course, they had duds and they had some winners. But some of my favorite fragrances in the world are from at least the old Dior Privé line. Alex98765, Star Wars or Back to the Future? I would say Back to the Future, but only because they're not going to drive that franchise into the ground. They're just driving Star Wars into the ground, and I'm honestly tired of seeing it. The current trilogy is not good. The Force Awakens I thought was really good and had a really good start. Some say it was like beat for beat, exactly like Empire Strikes Back, but I mean it wasn't, but it had some similar motifs there. But oh my gosh, the last one, what was the last one? The Last Jedi was awful. I mean, it was awful. It was awful as a movie, but then as a Star Wars movie, it was like really, really sad to watch. So Back to the Future for me, I always love that. And then, like I said, they just let that be. So they made 3, and they're not going to make any more. Hopefully, they don't make any more. So I really appreciate that. I really love it when they just stick to their art. Don't try to change it. Don't try to update it. Stick to it, because it's good as it is. And if you leave it the way it is, it will always be good. But if you try to update it and change it, you'll ruin it. It's just always how it is. Because in revising it, you'll change it to make it worse than it was. I mean, you know. Star Wars is an example of that. They've revised it and now it's awful. Ian Wren, scent of the day, Dior Homme EDT, such an underrated scent. Most reviewers seem to prefer DHO or DHI. I agree. The original Eau de Toilette version of Dior Homme is the best. Revo71, what's your opinion on Gallagher fragrances, especially Pineapple? So he gave me a couple of samples, and I tried a couple and liked them, but I really haven't tried many, and I haven't tried Pineapple. So I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts about his line. I really like the way the bottles look. I think that, especially, he's on a roll of making fragrances. So I really wish him well. So I hope his line does really good. Mr. Miami Cuddles, love Jordan Peterson. Yeah, I really like him too. I really like how, I know this is a tangent, but I just really like how his whole message is just really common sense. It's common sense, personal responsibility, that kind of thing. We need more of that. The world needs more of that. Chrissy O, I'll have to look into to his book list. Thanks. Didn't know about it. Yeah, definitely. So I'm always looking for good books and good book lists. And Jordan Peterson has an excellent book list. Some of them are more psychological based, based on psychology. But then others are just more classics. And I think he separates those two. They're excellent. And I've read a lot of them. Another book list or book lists that I like to read from is The Art of Manliness. They have like 3 or 4 book lists that they'll go back and they'll revise as like the greatest books they've ever read or something like that. And so I'll go through that. A lot of Art of Manliness books on there are geared towards men because that's what they do. But I would say 60% of the choices on that list is like classics. So I've been, especially the last 2 years, going through and reading a lot of classics, and I've loved it, really loved it, and I've really loved how the classics exist. They're still classics because they're just timeless pieces, and it's really made me evaluate too, like trends and fragrances in a tangential way. It kind of puts you in that mind about how certain art is timeless and certain art is trendy, and how there's a conflict there. Anyway. Mike Nguyen says, yes, Bracken, Fougere, and Beach Hut Man are great scents from Amouage. Beach Hut Man was another one I didn't really care for. All right, let's see here. Tyler Wright, what up, nerd? What's up, Tyler? Sarter Slick says, I am back. I'm in New York City, and I just saw some plebe in white suits doing one-handed push-ups in the middle of the pavement. What's going on in the earth nowadays? I have no idea what that's even about, so I don't know. Jazz S, how do you get familiar with each note and able to detect it in a fragrance? So there's a couple of ways that you can do it. The way that I have always done it is I have done it just by process of elimination and comparing other fragrances. So I'm going to actually make a video about this, but the easiest way to do it is you get a fragrance that has maybe a small number of notes, and you smell that, and you'll smell them all together. Then you smell another fragrance that has maybe a similar note list, or even maybe a larger pool of notes they're playing with, and you see what are the similarities there, and then you can finally pick up that's what that is. You just, after you smell something for a long time, you'll start to see the similarities, and you start to realize which notes are which. You can also do it more directly by actually buying like little samples of individual scents. But the one thing I'll say is, of course, that's money. So you could buy like a sample tester or whatever from Eden Botanicals is one place that sells those samples of things like that. But even then, you might not be getting what they're actually using. There are certain extractions of notes will give you certain smells. Like a CO2 extraction, for example, will give you a vastly different type of rose than your normal extraction of rose of rose. So it'll actually smell completely different. So anyway, let's hear these words. Ask interest in Amen Ultimate. Yeah, I am interested. I don't know what to think, but we'll see. I don't even know what the notes are in that one yet. Babalu Kumar says, Chanel Coromandel, Sycamore, or 1957. Which is the best? Please give me a suggestion, please. To me, the better of those three is Coromandel. But, I mean, you should just try them for yourself and decide. Mr. Miami Cuddle says, ever consider wearing male makeup? I'm going to start. Like to hear your thoughts. I mean, the only time I ever wear makeup is if I'm doing a video. Sometimes I'll put some on my face, especially right here and on my forehead, just to kind of cut the glare. And if there's any kind of redness on there, it'll kind of get rid of that. That's the only time. I'm not against it necessarily per se. Like if there's something that I'm trying to conceal, maybe like a zit or something like that, I would probably wear it. But other than that, like I would never wear makeup to like look pretty or anything. Maybe some guys want to see that on other guys. I don't know, but my wife doesn't want me to wear makeup, so I wouldn't want to wear makeup for any kind of aesthetic reason anyway. Dayron Infant says, hey, Daver, happy to see you do live. Listen, I wrote you an email a few days ago. Any fragrance that smells similar to YSL Libre since it's been discontinued? Sorry I haven't answered your email. Sometimes emails are hard to get to on time. I don't know one that smells exactly like a YSL Libre. I'd have to think about that one. Ian Wren, I actually prefer this format. Ensures everyone gets a chance to have their questions answered. Thank you. Trying to answer all of them anyway. Cody Mayberry, end of the day, Pinot Silvestre. Bablu Kumar says Chanel, Coromandel, or Creed Aventus, which is the best? I mean, Creed Aventus for me. Vincent Catalan says, have you tried the latest Mugler release, Amen Ultimate? Have not yet. The Platypus, hey Daver, if you had to recommend an eccentric molecule fragrance, which would it be? For me, it would be eccentric 04, but also molecule 04. Those are the two that I really like. So I'm sure you're familiar with it, but they have a molecule line and eccentric O line. Molecule 01 and eccentric 01 are kind of pairs. So molecule 01 is ISOE Super. Eccentric 01 has ISOE Super, but then creates more of a traditional fragrance around it. Molecule 02 is either vetiver or ambergris, and then the eccentric version of that is vetiver or ambergris, centered around that. Molecule 04 is a sandalwood note that's incredible. It is incredible. And just by itself is worth it. If you like sandalwood, it's incredible. Incredible sandalwood note. Like deep, clean, almost soapy, almost powdery. It's more complex than it should be. But Molecule 04 is incredible. Eccentric 04 is even better. Eccentric 04 is that green citrus sandalwood thing that is just magic. Absolute magic. That one, I should say, that one is one of my all-time most worn scents and complimented scents. So I should say, I should have put that on the list before. The Blind Sniper, Daver, we love you. Are you selling any splits currently? I'm not selling any splits, though I have juice from previous splits. If you're interested, definitely email me. I have other bottles that I'm just trying to get rid of too. So if you're interested in anything, email me and I'll send you a list of stuff that I have for sale, including some split stuff. Rob With, if Hermès Un Jardin sur le Nil has some superposition in the world of fragrances, what would it be in your eyes? President, CEO, etc., just for fun. I don't know. I got nothing on that one. Man. Got one person that spammed the boards here. Let's get past all this. Okay, Rich Mitch says, Midnight in Paris is discontinued. Never understood the hype. Smells like cleaning products. So I think it's okay. I think it's good. And I can see why people like it, though it didn't connect with me. And so if it is discontinued, then yeah, the price is going to go up over time. Sean says, yo, Daver, good to see you. Do you have any favorite old school fragrances? Yeah, I mean, some of my old school fragrances that I like, I still like Acqua di Gio. I still think that's good, though it's not good, and it's not as good as it used to be. I like some of the old Polo and Nautica stuff. I don't wear a lot of them. And I say old school. Old school is different to different people. So when I think of old school, I think of like 90s. But you know, that's of course relatively. Some people think of 80s. Some people think of 1800s. So it just depends. But those are some that are old school to me that I like anyway. Rob Whiff, a deep thanks for introducing me to Pure Malt. Back one. It's my wife's favorite. Also, Unjardin sur Lanil is another one of her favorites. Awesome. Tyler Wright, what fragrance would the devil wear? I've heard Man in Black by Bulgaria is the answer to that question. I don't know. To me, it'd be a Lord of Goathorn. It's an awful one. Jackson Silver says, I'm looking for some great fragrances to go well with a leather jacket in the fall, more towards the night. I was thinking Dior Sauvage. Do you recommend it? What else would you recommend? I mean, I wouldn't suggest Dior Sauvage with a leather jacket. Dior Sauvage is like graphic tee, cargo shorts, and flip-flops. Oh, man. Dior Sauvage is okay, but it's not leather jacket good. I don't know what I'd suggest. I would suggest something that just makes you feel like the man. Something that makes you feel powerful and something like that. I don't know. Mike Nguyen says, Boozy fragrances, Nasamato Baronda by Killian Apple Brandy. Yeah, that's excellent. Vodka on the Rocks, that's excellent. And Single Malt from By Killian, both of those are excellent. Yes, those are excellent. Great suggestions. Fatty Boombalatti says, I'm waiting for Ore to come back. That's right. That's right. Slumber House is bringing Ore back too. That's cool. Paul M., what fragrance are you most excited to wear this fall? Okay, so again, boring answer, but to me it's Memoirs of a Trespasser by Imaginary Authors. That's just one that I just reach for all the time. Cannot wait for it. Can't wait. Gregory Roback, no office. I've been drinking. I'm wearing Hops Eau de Parfum. That's right. I would love a beer scented fragrance. That'd be awesome. But not like spilled beer, but like fragrant, fresh, citrusy hops beer, that kind of thing. Christy O, has anyone watched Ben from Talking Sense? If not, check him out. He also does a YouTube channel called Dark Histories for all the history lovers out there. Awesome. Martin Lazo, what would Marty McFly wear for a fragrance? Oh, man. I don't know. It'd have to be an 80s fragrance, that's for sure. Mark Lacera, Art de Parfumaria, says, hi, Dave, what's your favorite Lardizan? My favorite is Tea for Two. That one's incredible. There's some other ones that I really like, too. Noir Exquise, or Exquise is excellent. Excellent kind of almost gourmand woody fragrance. That one's really good. The Ombre is an excellent amber fragrance, too. I like that one as well. Ramon Garcia, David, have you ever smelled Armani Privé line? And if so, how is it compared to the Tom Ford Private Blend? I have not smelled it. And that's one that I've really wanted to try. But, I mean, you can't compare one line to the other one. Every line is different. That'd be like asking, how does a Armani Privé line compare to Dior? Or how does it compare to, insert niche brand there? They're all totally different. Mike Nguyen, Dave, are not sure if anyone has asked how do you store your fragrances. So again, like I put all of them in a drawer under the sink in a bathroom that we don't use a whole lot. My kids take baths in there, but that's about it. So it doesn't really the temperature doesn't change, doesn't get warm in there. and I keep it's dark in there, so that's where I keep my fragrances. Rich Mitch, have you read Ulysses? Have not read Ulysses. It's on the list, and it's one that I'm not too forward to reading because I know it's almost impenetrable. Like it's hard to read, though it's a masterpiece. I don't like books that are that difficult. Like I read Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon. I did not like that one. It was too dense. So Ulysses, I know, is going to be one of those things too. So not too excited about it. Fatty Boombalatti. More importantly, have you read the non-annotated version? That one I know it's even harder. Fatty Boombalatti says, I need the annotated versions of James Joyce. Yeah, I've heard that those are a lot better. I've also heard that James Joyce, he made his books in a way that you could, if Dublin, Ireland was completely destroyed, you could recreate it from his books. Medicent waves. Hey, Medicent, how you doing? Fatty Boombalatti, especially Finnegan's Wake. Whew, yeah, I've heard that one is even harder. MDR says, why is your nose so red? WTF, are you Rudolph? No, not Rudolph. I thought that'd be pretty obvious. You must be blind, I guess. I don't know. Ryan Wagner, ahoy, Daver. Hello from South Africa. Hey, wow, how are you doing? Steve Markham, hi, Dave from San Antonio. Hey, how are you doing, Steve? J. Ken, is there a niche fragrance you would recommend to guys under 20? I mean, I don't think age really has to do with anything. I would suggest anything you want to try, I would say definitely try. What I would suggest, if you're looking for something that maybe, if what you're asking is a niche line that is easy to wear, that isn't too crazy, is something that could be generally likable by a lot of people because you're going to be wearing it around a lot of younger people. Some of my suggestions that I've already suggested, I think are easy to wear, like Atelier Cologne, like Imaginary Authors. Those are two lines that are really accessible, easy to wear fragrances. Steve Markham, do you think Creed fragrances are worth the price? I mean, I think it definitely depends on the fragrance. So for me, I think Creed Green Irish Tweed is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. That one to me is worth the price because I think it's magnificent. But then you also have like the fact that you can buy a Creed fragrance discounted through discount sellers. So to me, if there is an option of buying a fragrance from a discounter or buying it full retail, it's definitely not worth it to buy it full retail in that case. So I would definitely go for a discounter for a Creed fragrance, personally. Jazz S. Daver, thanks for answering my question. Haha. Most strongest, best performing, most projecting men's fragrance. That does not exist. People have unicorns of fragrances and they just don't exist. Babalu Kumar says, thank you for your suggestion. Have a nice day. Once again, thanks. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yaya Dagnaco says, hi, Daver. Any suggestions on a scent similar to Atelier Cologne Orange Sanguine, but lasts longer? Yeah. So Frederic Malle has one. What is that? Is it Vert d'Orange? Okay, it's one of those. I'm not sure. I forgot what it's called. Frederic Malle has one that is made by Jean-Claude Ellena, and it has orange in the title, I think. Let me kick this guy off here. Hold on one second here. There we go. All right. I have to, man, I forgot what it was called. So anyway, yeah, there's one by Frederick Malle that they make one. They make an original version and then a stronger version. And it's made by Jean-Claude Elena. I forgot what it was called. Man. Let's see, Le Surge 25, which is better, Mont Blanc Explorer or Mont Blanc Individual? I mean, they're both very different. Mont Blanc Explorer is kind of like an Aventus type of cologne, and Mont Blanc Explorer is kind of like a original Santal cologne. They're completely different, though. It's hard to, you can't compare apples to oranges. The Funnyville, thoughts on lower level Tom Ford lines out of the private blends. I think that Tom Ford's lines that are not in the private blends are actually, they're better fragrances, honestly. You know, the ones like Grey Vetiver, incredible. Noir Extreme, incredible. Even Noir, I think, is really good. Black Orchid, come on. Sahara Noir, all these are just great. Every time they release, I'm more excited from Tom Ford when they release something in that line. For whatever reason, I think they just make way better fragrances in that kind of designer line that they have, their mainstream line, than their private blend. Anytime they come out with a private blend, I almost ignore it every time. I think that they're just bad most of the time. They haven't made a good private blend in a long time. Alex98765, Daver, have you read The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt? What a book. Very beast-made reviewish. Have not. I'll look it up. Nandy Casa, designer deodorant sticks worth buying. It kind of depends. It depends, I think, where your collection is. So if you have, excuse me, let me get some water real quick. If you have a collection that is maybe only 1 or 2 fragrances, then I think that it might be more worth it for you. But for like me, it would not be worth it. Because for one, they're just like way more expensive. And I don't see a reason to spend that much on a deodorant stick. And 2, you can just buy like a non-scented deodorant stick and have it do what it's supposed to do, and then just wear your fragrance. So the purpose of a deodorant stick, a scented deodorant stick that you get from, for your that matches your fragrance, is so it won't clash. But if you just get a non-scented one, it does the same thing. Let's see. Udam Karn Chikku says, any fragrance remind you of old memories? What memories are they? Yes, definitely. So there's one fragrance, I forgot what it was. I can't put my finger on it. But I think it was like a Lancôme fragrance or something like that. As a woman's fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And I remember one time, it was back when I was a kid, and Nickelodeon had like these toys that they would make. They probably still make toys. Anyway, but they had these balls called like a squish ball, and it was just like a neoprene type of casing, and then it had like this kind of semi-squishy type of gel on the inside, and you could, they advertised it. It was just something to play with. You could squeeze it, you could bounce it, you could do a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, it was almost kind of fatty, and one time we got one in the mall, and we accidentally sprayed some kind of fragrance on it, some kind of women's perfume, and it got in there, and it stuck in there for like months. And every time I smelled it, it smelled so good. So sometimes whenever I smell certain scents or certain notes that will remind me of that, Other things too, like certain fragrances remind me of playing video games. I remember I said this in my last live chat. Certain peach aldehydic notes remind me of playing the Super Nintendo as a kid. Cool Water reminds me of my dad. Safari, Ralph Lauren Safari reminds me of my dad. Other fragrances too. Some fragrances will I'll just wear a fragrance for a while, and then not come back to it in a while, and then I'll remember that. So, so some fragrances like Saint Julep by Imaginary Authors really reminds me of the Boston area because I wore it a lot there. Orange Sanguine reminds me of like road trips, and consequently now every time I go on a road trip with my family, I always wear Orange Sanguine. Certain things like that. So yeah, there's like a lot more that I have. But yeah, so those are some of them. Manolo's Channel Guys says, Dave from San Francisco, California. Hey, how are you doing? Goriella 2019 says, do you still have the same opinion about Musk Ravageur since you and Jair made a review about it? I haven't smelled Musk Ravageur in quite a while, but I would imagine that it's probably pretty similar. Most of the time, if I make really negative reviews about something, I find that my review doesn't change that much. So yeah. Sometimes I'll smell something and I'll think it's okay, and then I'll eventually love it. But usually if I have just a really strong negative opinion about it, I usually, that'll stay that way for a long time. Same is true with like L'air du Desert Americain by Andy Tower. We gave it really bad marks because that's just not something we really cared for. Still really don't like that one. J. Ken says, is $208 a fair price for Creed Green Irish Tweed 100 mil? I think it's pretty good. I'd have to look around. I'm not really sure. Fatty Boombalatti. I just always love saying that name. Says, people compare Musk Ravageur with L by Lolita Lampica, but I think they're quite different. Have you compared them? L is much denser, smokier, and heavier with vanilla to me. I haven't tried L, but I would imagine they probably are pretty different. Musk Ravageur to me was not like a very pleasant type of smell. Some people really liked it, but I didn't think it was very pleasant. Lolita Lampica does not seem like the house that would go something like that. You know what's funny is I was looking at this line of jewelry for men, had this really kind of hardcore, tough kind of aesthetic, really cool. And then the owner created a fragrance, and he said that he wanted to, I got 10% left. Oh man. He created a fragrance and he wanted it to smell like one of his favorite fragrances, and it was supposed to be like Musk Ravageur. So I really want to try that fragrance and see what it's like. Paul M., what are your thoughts on letting your fragrance sit after spraying it? Does it help the fragrance become stronger, etc.? I don't know what you mean, like sit on your skin? Or just like spray it once one day and then let it sit and then come back to it. I don't think that either affects the outcome at all. I haven't found that to be the case. Jim, is Elisab Essence number 3 Ombre and Ombre Nuit comparable? I'm not sure. I haven't tried any by Elisab. I really want to try Elisab because they make a gardenia fragrance that I really want to try. Gardenia is kind of like that unicorn note for me that I'm always chasing. But yeah, I haven't tried that. True Cult Butt says, what are your thoughts on Guerlain Heritage, EDP and EDT, and your favorite Guerlain? Thanks, Daver. I haven't tried those, so I'm not really sure. Or if I have, I just don't remember. So I'm not really sure on that, sorry. My favorite Guerlain is Rose Barbar in their art collection. That's just incredible. That whole art collection, I've tried a few from them, and they're always fantastic. Either pretty good or fantastic. Fragrance Dog. Hey, bro, how are you? Hey, Fragrance Dog. How are you doing, man? Ken, what do you think of designer shower gels like Bleu de Chanel? Again, like the deodorant, I think it really depends on how many fragrances you have. Personally, you know, I don't really care about shower gels really matching the fragrance itself. I find that it doesn't make that much of a difference. So I usually just, you know, either do unscented, or if I have something that's scented, it really doesn't clash that much at all. Unless you're talking about like Axe or something like that has like a heavy kind of shower gel fragrance on it. I find that most shower gels don't really have that. They don't really impact the scent that much. The thing that really impacts the scent more to me is how you wash your clothes, because that scent really can be overwhelming on a fragrance. Let's see, Zyman Jakubowski says, greetings from Poland, love your content. Thank you, appreciate it. Johnny Blaze, how long have you been out of the closet? Well, I haven't been in my closet for very long. I just go in there to get clothes. But so I was in there for a second there, changing this morning, but that was it. I don't know. How long have you been an idiot? I don't really know that. I don't really know the answer to that question either. Arnold Wayne, what's your favorite fragrance of all time? Probably Green Irish Tweed by Creed. LeSurge 25, Keanu Reeves wears Helmut Lang perfume or Helmut Lang Curion Pour Homme. They're both about $350. Have you ever smelled these scents? I have not, but I really want to try them, for sure. Steve, love your channel and reviews. What's your go-to office fragrance? I don't know. I don't know if I have one go-to, but one that I think works great for the office that I've been wearing a lot this summer has been Dior Homme Cologne. I think that's incredible. I think that's just a really good scent. Really good. Daniel T. Daver, your general opinion on Mancera and which one to begin with as a newbie? You know, like safe to wear. I don't really know. Mancera is good. I find that Mancera is very similar to Montal. I know some people say that it's like the same perfumer or whatever, but I mean, they're very close. I don't really know. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with Montal or Mancera. I've smelled some, and they're good. They have a ton in their line. I think generally, if you're a newbie, I would not start with either Montal or Mancera because it's just too much. They just have too many fragrances to try. But you can always try samples of stuff from Lucky Scent or something. They sell samples of those, I think so. Mike Nguyen, absolutely love all those imagining authors you mentioned. My favorite indie perfumer. Any other indie perfumers you recommend? Yeah, House of Matriarch is really good. Mandy Aftel is excellent. Dawn Spencer Hurwitz is excellent. Oh man, I know there's some more that I'm thinking of that I can't think of off the top of my head. Maybe Daniel Gallagher fragrances would probably consider themselves indie. I don't really know, but I don't really like the term niche and indie because I think it's an unnecessary distinction that that doesn't make much of a difference. So yeah. J. Ken, are office fragrances generally wearable in school? Yeah, totally, absolutely. I would say it's the same type of vibe. Timothy Hill, I love Lolita Olympica Eau Masculine. It's been reformulated and renamed LL L'Homme. Such a good scent. Okay, I definitely need to check that one out. I've been wanting to try it for a long time. Kyle Armstrong, hey Daver, would love to hear your thoughts on Creed Bois de Portugal. I feel it's one of the few creeds I haven't heard you mention. Yeah, I've talked about it some more on lives, but I don't think I have a sample of it right now. I have to go look. I don't think I have a sample of it. And I believe that I've tried that a long time ago, but I don't remember exactly what I thought. So it may have been that I tried it and I thought it was just okay. I don't remember. But I may have thought it did smell good. I remember smelling a bunch of Creeds one time, and a lot of them just kind of blur together. Reed McCormick, I've seen the brand called Cigar on clearance. Do you know anything about this brand? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cheap kind of clone house that has cigar-shaped bottles. You know, maybe worth the price. I don't really know. A Gentleman's Journey. Daver is sexier than Adam Levine. Udom Kar and Cheat Cool says, what is your first love in smelling like? Any fragrances remind you about first love? Not really. Legacy Jank MTG, how's Jer? Is he coming back anytime soon? So Jer's doing great. He actually moved back in town. So something you don't know, but he moved to the Washington, D.C. area for a while. I think it was in the Virginia area. And then moved back down. So he's doing good. I just saw him just the other day, so that's pretty cool. Arnold Wayne, what's your favorite summer fragrance of all time? I don't know if I have a favorite summer fragrance of all time. Well, one that I think that I do really love in the summer is Eccentric 04, like I was mentioning earlier. That's one that I just love. And it's always, always good to wear in the summer. It's awesome. So definitely check that one out. Trance Central says, what's your favorite sweet coffee fragrance? So let me talk about that one. I've mentioned this in the last couple of lives, which is so funny. But this is one that I really enjoy. This one is, let's see, Ristretto Intense Cafe by Montal. And if you've been joined the live videos, then you probably already know that I'm going to show this. But yeah, Ristretto Intense Cafe, beautiful scent. It's floral, but it does have a really nice caramelly, milky coffee scent. And this one is especially, so I thought this wasn't as strong as the original one, or I should say, I thought it wasn't extremely strong, but I was wrong. It's really strong, really strong. X straight to Parfum. And, got a little itch back there. And it has a great, great coffee note at the very top. Great, like fresh ground coffee at the top. It smells exactly like coffee. And then it goes more into that caramelly floral thing, but it's great. I guess I didn't get to try any fragrances today. I might have to go, guys. My battery's about to die, so if this cuts off, that's why. So David wanted to buy my first niche frag, and I think I'm going for Parfum de Marly, Leighton or Percival. Thank you. I would say, to me, Leighton. I think Leighton is better out of those two, but Percival is really good too. It just depends on what you like. But Leighton, to me, I think is more up my alley for my taste. But Percival, I think, is a really great inoffensive type of casual fragrance I think people would really like. Nandy Casa says, hi, Daver. Hi again, Daver. What about Z and V, Zadig and V fragrances? Zadig, is it Zadig and Voltaire? Is that right? Fragrances. I haven't tried any of them, but I've been wanting to. Arnold Wayne, what's your favorite Tom Ford of all time? For me, it's Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. That, to me, is the best of his line. Toby Maru Mori says, hi, Jer. Okay. I like all your reviews because you talk with authority, unlike others. I tried the All Saints, and it was okay for the price. Nothing special, but smells great. And Dave, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's okay. I think it's okay for the price. There's some, I think it's not special, but I think it has some, a couple of unique scents in there. And I think if you like, I think they'll run pretty good price too, if I'm not mistaken. J. Kim, what's your spray routine? Usually I'll do 4 sprays, 2 in the front of the neck and 2 in the back. That's it. Rich Mitch, cheers. Cheers. TPRS 45LC, I really enjoyed the original English leather timeline scent. Then its formulation was changed. Do you know what happened? Do you happen to know of a fragrance that favors the original scent? I prefer a wood scent. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Okay. Nico's great, or is that great? Says, hi, have you tested any fragrances from the House of Kors? Have not, but I'll definitely check them out. Le Surge 25, do you remember Giorgio VIP Special Blend? It was discontinued around 1993. There are some on eBay that are very old. The guy told me about 10% evaporated. Would that affect the scent? It might affect the scent a little bit. If it's an older fragrance, if it's stored wrong, it might. You might have to just test your luck. I'm not really sure, but I haven't tried that one. Anyway, I've got to go, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. My battery is about to die. So thank you again. I thank you for all the questions. Later on, I'll have timestamps down below in a comment if you want to go back and watch it. So thank you again. Join me next time. I'm going to try to do this every week. So see you next time.